Hey guys, it's Holly. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. And today I am going to talk about a bit of a homeschool update with my older son. So, my oldest son is 7 and he is homeschooled. For those of you that don't know, he has been homeschooled since March of 2020. And we initially started homeschooling because of COVID, but after a while, or pretty much right away, we quickly saw how much homeschool could benefit our lives and ultimately help us with our schedule, with just keeping keeping away from the matrix, staying out of the rat race, and believe it or not, actually saving money, saving a lot of time, growing our bond together, and all of these other things. And so the curriculum that we're using this year is called Sonlight, Sonlight, and it is a Christian literature based curriculum. And so we are now at the end of the school year. So I just wanted to do kind of like a little update on where we're at in terms of our own personal journey with homeschool. And so I am just so happy that we decided to homeschool again this year. And we are going to continue to do this for the foreseeable future. And I'm also extremely happy with the curriculum that we chose this year. Sonlight has been extremely helpful. And to be completely honest, the main reason I chose it this year is because it was cheaper. And because I looked into it, felt like it looked like it was more not so much technology. I like to do the traditional homeschool. I like to kind of leave the electronics out of it for the most part. Not a lot of computer time, tablet time, all that kind of thing. And my son loves his video games. I do let him watch his tablet and his laptop. To an extent, we do limit the content that he watches. However, I do allow him to spend quite a bit of time on electronic devices. And so if you really think about it, it's almost like having our children, in school, not having all that technology around them, in my opinion, I think is actually really beneficial for their not only their physical health but their mental health as well. And so that's what we've been doing. And so our literature-based curriculum does not really involve anything online whatsoever. It's kind of like old school. Everything is book work and just reading and, actual workbooks. And so what I love about Sonlight is that there's not a ton of worksheets to do. And I've said this before, but any given day, there's really only like one or two, say a couple of worksheets that your child has to do according to the curriculum. And like I've said before in some of my other homeschool videos, Sonlight gives you this guidebook. Like, it's this big binder, it's huge, and it just has everything in it that you need as a teacher. And you just get to go through, and throughout your days and your weeks, all you have to do is follow the plan, mark everything out as you go. And what's really cool is you have a lot of variables in a sense of you actually get to pick certain activities that your child does each day. So like, there's actually a section for field trips, there's a section for life skills, practical skills. You get to do a lot of this yourself. And so you get to play a very active role in your child's education. And you don't just have to follow a set plan every single day, because you get to add in some of your own stuff as well. And I just think it's awesome. And so like for us, some days we would add in a math lesson or an extra math lesson. And some days we might do a field trip. Some days we might add an extra story or some extra writing practice, things like that, art projects. And so not everything necessarily has to be a part of the curriculum. You can add in other things as well. Of course, you can do that anyway. But I did just kind of want to make a short video and just let you guys know, for those of you that that are interested in my homeschool content. I know there are a decent amount of you actually, that things have gone very smoothly this year, despite everything, despite dealing with COVID outbreak earlier in the school year, dealing with all these things that are going on in the world, the war, inflation, and and just, and me as a single parent trying to navigate life and trying to navigate through day to day, as difficult as it can be. And so Sonlight has really been a lifesaver. It's so much better than the curriculum that we used last year, and I'm not totally dogging on last year's curriculum because it was a Becca, but I do feel like this one is a lot more realistic and a lot more broad spectrum. I feel like Becca was just very, I don't want to say kind of boring, but it was just a lot more shielding from the world. And what I like about Sonlight is that the books and the literature that you read actually teaches your child a lot about the outside world, and it teaches them a lot of things that I feel like they would not learn or have access to in other Christian curriculums. So I feel like that's an important part of learning, an important part of school. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I just cannot get over how smoothly this year has gone by. We have 4 weeks left, before my son is done with first grade, and he's right on par, right where he's supposed to be. And I just think it's amazing that we've done the 4-day program, 4 days a week, and it only takes us about an hour a day, a little over an hour, to get our work done because it's one-on-one and we just get through it. And just having that extra time to just be like, okay, you're done with school, now we're gonna do life, now we're just gonna do this or that. And I feel like learning is so much more than in the classroom. Learning is so much more than book work. It is life, and I feel like we need to be spending a lot of time teaching our kids about life and about what to expect and how to navigate life. And a lot of times when children are in public or private school and they're there the whole entire day, they're being very overstimulated, and this is just my opinion, but I think that the overstimulation can really backfire, because if you attempt to put too much information into a child all at once, I feel that that is ultimately going to put them in a position where they're not going to retain nearly as much as they would if you just give them more time and give them more space and not try to shove everything down their throat. And I feel like this is a huge issue in society, and it has been for a while, but it's getting worse, in my opinion, with each year that passes. I see so many kids that are in school full-time that are academically behind and just don't seem happy, and it's because they're sitting in school 7 to 8 hours a day. They might even be doing an after-school program after that, or they might be going to tutoring, have extracurriculars and all these other things, and it's like I can just only imagine how some of these kids might feel, because not everybody is cut out for the rat race, and not everybody is cut out to sit there and take all of that all day. And you have to consider, even us as adults, if I were to sit in different classrooms all day long for 7 to 8 hours, I don't really know exactly how much information I would retain, because there are so many other things in life. And when someone is just trying to push so much at you in such a short amount of time, quite frankly, it's mind-boggling to me. And like I've said before, I do see things differently. I think differently than most people. So, this is just a different perspective that I'm sharing with you, and I hope that for some of you it helps. And if it doesn't help you, I hope that it can help somebody else that you might know. So I'm just so happy that we chose homeschool again. I'm so happy that we chose this curriculum, which is Sonlight. And that's all I have to say for now. We are at the end of the year. We have 4 weeks left. So after we finish and he graduates first grade, I will recap with another video and just kind of let you guys know kind of some of our highlights of the year and what we liked and didn't like and what worked for us, and kind of a little bit of our schedule on how we have done things over this last school year. So yeah. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have enjoyed this little homeschool update for my family. And tomorrow I am going to be filming a video on tonsillitis, strep throat, throat infections in general. Yeah, throat infections in general. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. I know I'm looking forward to doing that video. It might be a little bit lengthy, so I am going to try and get it all filmed tomorrow, and then I